I feel you like fall on my hands, soft, invisible, shifting where it stands. Love moves through me in a quiet sweep, a warmth too tender for the world to keep. We sit on opposite sides of the room, your presence carving out subtle bloom. You look away, but I sense your thought like a thread pulled loose, but never caught. There's a tremor in the way you breathe, a rhythm only I can read. Fingers tap the wooden chair as though confessing something there. I sip my drink but taste only you, a flavor the night keeps pulling through. The lamp beside us paints your skin in tones too fragile to begin. I wanna speak but words are thick, too heavy to form, too quick to stick. So I stay quiet, learning your air, hoping you'll notice that I care. I feel like fog on my hands, soft, invisible, shifting where it stands. Love moves through me in a quiet sweep, a warmth too tender for the world to keep. Tell a story in broken parts, not from memory, but from your heart. You say, I'm scared of losing control. Eyes flickering like a shaking scroll. I nod, knowing that fear too well, the kind of fear we rarely tell. The silence settles after your line, but it feels more human than divine. I reach across but stop halfway, uncertain what you want today. Touch can heal but touch can burn. I've learned that in every turn. Still your shoulders lower slightly down, soft surrender without sound. Your voice grows low, stay a while, a trembling plea wrapped in fragile style. I feel you like fog on my hands, soft, invisible, shifting where it stands. Love moves through me in a quiet sweep, a warmth too tender for the world to keep. Love doesn't break, it bends in grace, forming new shapes in the empty space. Maybe longing isn't a wound to hide, but a place where two hearts coincide. Later when we stand at your door, you linger as though wanting more. The hallway breathes a cooling sigh, a faint goodbye you can't deny. You whisper softly, come tomorrow, as though today wasn't enough to borrow. I nod though fear curls in my chest, wondering if I can give you my best. But as your hand brushes mine at last, the hesitation in me falls fast. Fog on my hands, warmth in your gaze, love unfolding in muted ways. I feel you like fog on my hands, soft, invisible, shifting where it stands. Love moves through me in a quiet sweep, a warmth too tender for the world to keep. I feel you like Folded notes on the table stay quiet reminders of our yesterday. I read them slow, line by line, searching for traces you left behind. Your handwriting leans to the right, soft curve shaped by gentle light. Don't forget breakfast, one of them says, written on one of our quieter days. Another read, see you at 8. A promise simple yet felt like fate. I touched the paper worn and thin, hoping your warmth still lingers in. You never meant for them to last, just small gestures of the past. Yet here they are, 3 or 4 echoes resting in my drawer. I open them like fragile wings, letting memory do its simple things. Your voice returns through every line, steady, warm, once wholly mine. Folded notes on the table stay quiet reminders of our yesterday. I read them slow, line by line, searching for traces you left behind. You always wrote without much thought, never knowing the calm it brought. A scribbled joke, a drawn out heart, tiny proofs we weren't apart. Now the room feels wider somehow, as if your absence learned to grow. I sit alone where you once sat, talking to the empty flat. I try to hear your footsteps still, the soft approach, the simple thrill. But silence settles like evening dust, a quiet space I learned to trust. Your notes become my makeshift guide, leading me where feelings hide, showing me you once were here, leaving softness in place of fear. Folded notes on the table stay quiet reminders of our yesterday. I read them slow, line by line, searching for traces you left behind. Maybe love survives in small remains, ink and paper, gentle stains, not in grand or shining scenes, but in handwritten, quiet means. Tonight I fold them back again, stacking them with careful hands, not to forget or cling too tight, but to honor what felt right. Your words don't promise you'll return, but they warm the coldness where I yearn. And though you're gone from day to day, your notes still teach me how to stay. I place them softly by the light, a silent ritual for the night. And in the hush that fills the room, I feel your memory softly bloom. Folded notes on the table stay quiet reminders of our yesterday. I read them slow, line by line, searching for traces you left behind. Folded notes on the table stay quiet reminders of our yesterday. I read them slow, line by line, searching for traces you left behind. Tonight, your notes keep me alive, a quiet comfort I still find. You're half asleep beside me now, breathing slow without a vow. Nothing said yet something true. The room grows softer next to you. Your head leans gently on my arm, a quiet weight, a subtle calm. The lamp glows low behind your hair, drawing circles in the evening air. You shift once, murmuring a thought, a dream you barely ever caught. I smile at how your words unwind like secrets drifting out of mine. The night feels steady, warm and slow. No rush to stay and nowhere to go. Your fingertips curl into mine, not fully held but close enough to sign the comfort growing in this space. A small surrender of your guarded grace. You're half asleep beside me now, breathing slow without a vow. Nothing said yet something true. The room grows softer next to you. The clock ticks lightly down the hall, a steady beat that barely calls. Your blanket slips across your knee, a careless gesture meant for me. I tuck it back without a word, hoping the motion isn't heard. But you open your eyes for just a blink, as if waking only to rethink. You whisper, don't go yet, low, the kind of plea you never show. I nod before you fade again, returning to your quiet den. You're breathing deep and soft and real, a rhythm I can almost feel. You're half asleep beside me now, breathing slow without a vow. Nothing said yet something true. The room grows softer next to you. Maybe love is found this way, in silence at the end of day. Not in passion loud or bright, but in choosing to stay through night. The window hums with distant cars, their headlights blinking like tired stars. But here your warmth anchors mine, even though you hardly sign. Awareness of this tender hour, a fleeting moment born of power that asks for nothing, proves no point, just presence in this evening joint. I watch your shoulders rise and fall, a quiet rhythm, that's all. And though tomorrow waits outside, tonight I hold this gentle tide. You're half asleep beside me now, breathing slow without a vow. Nothing said yet something true. You're half asleep beside me now, breathing slow without a vow. Nothing said yet something true. You're half asleep beside me now, breathing slow without a vow. Nothing said yet something true. If you come back slow someday, I'll meet you halfway on that old cafe way. No questions asked, no debts to pay, just two hearts learning how to stay. I walk the corner where we used to talk, your laughter tracing down the block. The bench still leans the way it did, carrying secrets we once hid. I sit there sometimes late at night, watching street lamps lose their light. And in that wavering golden glow, I wonder if you miss me though. Your absence hums like a quiet chord, not painful now, just unexplored. A hollow left by something kind, a soft outline you left behind. I hold it gently in my chest, neither clinging nor dismissing the rest. It's just a shape you once filled well, a silent story I rarely tell. If you come back slow, someday I'll meet you halfway on that old cafe way. No questions asked, no debts to pay, just two hearts learning how to stay. Your name still drifts in sudden waves, a coffee sign, a passing phrase. I don't chase it like before, I simply nod then let it pour. Healing isn't loud or bright, it happens in the shade of night, in the slow release of something held, and learning how to stand unknelled. Still some days I catch a tune that feels like us, a soft monsoon, and though the ache is faint at best, it moves a pulse inside my chest. On nights like that I close my eyes, imagining you beneath warm skies, walking slow, unsure but true, wondering if I think of you. If you come back slow, someday I'll meet you halfway on that old cafe way. No questions asked, no debts to pay, just two hearts learning how to stay. I don't need promises or plans, just honest steps and open hands. If time brings you around again, I'll greet you like an old friend's friend. Until that chance or none at all, I live my days both big and small, but know this truth beneath the noise. You once carved peace inside my pores, and if our paths align once more, I won't ask what came before. Just sit with you where stories grow, and learn your rhythm soft and slow. When seasons change and memories fade, I'll keep the space that we once made. Not as longing or regret, but a warmth I haven't let forget. If you come back slow, someday I'll meet you halfway on that old cafe way. No questions asked, no debts to pay, just two hearts learning how to stay. If you come back gentle, someday I'll meet you where the lights turn gray. If you come back gentle, someday I'll meet you where the lights turn gray. Half open like thoughts I've postponed. A jacket slumps on the back of a chair, keeping secrets from the day we were. The lamp hums low like a purring friend, his warmth refusing to condescend. Outside a car rolls through the night, its engine fading like distant light. Its engine fading like distant light. I sit cross-legged on the edge of my bed, thumbing through messages I never read. Some at work, some annoys, some from people I used to call my voice. But tonight I'm not chasing any reply, just watching my thoughts drifting dry. The quiet wraps around my ribs, soft as a promise no one forbids. Lamp hour resting on my chest, soft light shaping what's left of the day's unrest. Shadows breathe slow across my floor, reminding me I don't need much more. I think of you as the night settles in, your face half lit by your screen's faint grin. Maybe you're brushing your teeth too long, or humming at random to some half-made song. I imagine the curve of your tired smile, etched from days that stretch a mile. You're not here but you linger just right, like ink still warm on paper white. I replay our last small talk, the way your laugh trailed off in chalk. You said the week had been a climb, but you'd survive it one tea at a time. I nodded though you couldn't see the shared fatigue between you and me. Tonight that memory drifts like smoke, gentle swirling, quiet spoke. Lamp hour resting on my chest, soft light shaping what's left of the day's unrest. Shadows breathe slow across my floor, reminding me I don't need much more. We rush through days that drain us thin, forgetting the tiny spaces we're in. But lamps know how to slow the world, the way warm light lets truth unfurl. I place my phone face down with care, letting silence purify the air. The lamp casts circles against the wall, slow constellations rising and fall. I stretch my arms, breathing deep, letting my heartbeat loosen its key. But gentle tiredness takes its place, lighting calm across my face. When I finally lie beneath the sheet, the night feels measured, soft, complete. Lamp hour dims but stays in mind, a small reminder to be kind. Oh, lamp hour resting on my chest, soft light shaping what's left of the day's unrest. Shadows breathe slow across my floor, reminding me I don't need much more. Lamp hour closing with a sigh, holding me gently before goodbye. Lamp hour closing with a sigh, holding me gently before goodbye. Lamp hour, ooh, ooh, ooh. Lamp hour closing with a sigh. Lamp hour, ooh, ooh, ooh. Lamp hour closing with a sigh. Lean into me slowly, there's no need to rush. Let your trembling heart find a place to hush. Every moment with you feels soft and true, like the world finally learned how to move. You sit beside me, knees almost touching, your breath unsteady, your fingers clutching the edge of your sleeve like a fragile thread, as if pulling it tighter keeps thoughts unsaid. I watch your chest rise in cautious time, your heartbeat sinking close to mine. There's a hush between us like whispered rain, falling softly, easing pain. Your eyes don't meet me at first glance, they wander in a hesitant dance. But when they settle on my face, I feel warmth filling up the space, No grand confession, no dramatic plea, just the quiet truth drifting free. I shift an inch, you shift 1, 2. When love begins its silent cue, lean into me slowly. There's no need to rush. Let your trembling heart find a place to hush. Every moment with you feels soft and true, like the world finally learned how to move. You tell me love has never stayed long, that every melody turned into the wrong song. I answer gently, we'll build our own tune, one that drifts steady, soft as a moon. You laugh once, barely a sound, but it roots my feet into the ground. Your shoulders fall from their guarded height, as though trust in me shifted your night. We talk about dreams too small to share, about fears that linger everywhere. You reveal pieces chipped and worn, not knowing if they'll be met with scorn. But I hold each fragment tenderly, mapping where your edges used to be. And in that tender, trembling state, I feel something resonate. Lean into me slowly. There's no need to rush. Let your trembling heart find a place to hush. Every moment with you feels soft and true, like the world finally learned how to move. If love is a bridge built plank by plank, let's lay each one without keeping score or rank. No leaps required, no sudden leaps, just quiet crossing while the night sleeps. Later when you place your hand in mine, the world outside blurs in its design. Your thumb traces small circles slow, a gesture speaking truths you rarely show. You lean your head on my waiting shoulder, breathing calmer, softer, bolder. The lamp casts amber along your hair, a tender glow I wanna share. And in that closeness, safe and bright, I feel the world align just right. Not perfect, not fixed, but wholly real. A love that teaches how to heal. Lean into me slowly. There's no need to rush. Lay your trembling heart find a place to hush. Every moment with you feels soft and true, like the world finally learned how to move. Lean into me, slow as dawn. We'll grow steady from now on. Yeah. Lean into me, slow as dawn. We'll grow steady from now on. Your move slow like a blooming No rush in your voice, no need for trust. Yet something inside me leans your way, like a flower persuaded by the softest ray. I first saw you beneath the flickering light, your hands tucked gently in pockets tight. The world around you blurred into haze, but you stood steady in your quiet ways. You didn't smile, not fully at least, but the corners trembled like a subtle feast. And I felt something rise in me slow, a tide that wasn't sure where to go. You spoke in sentences soft and trimmed, like every word was carefully brimmed. I tried to reply but failed to part, my voice escaping too far from the heart. Still you listen as though my rambling prose was a secret garden only you could impose. And I thought if affection was sound, yours would be a pose beneath the ground. Your warm moves slow like a bloom that does. No rush in your voice, no need for trust. Yet something inside me leans your way, like a flower persuaded by the softest ray. We walked that night under silver haze, our shadows stretching in mismatched ways. You talked about books you never finished, habits you tried but always diminished. I confessed I was afraid of love, afraid of its weight, afraid of the shove. You nodded slowly like you knew the cost, like you'd carried hearts and returned them lost. The silence between us didn't feel thin, but laid texture safe to begin. Cars hum past with a gentle sway, but none could pull the night away. Your steps aligned with mine by chance, an unintentional midnight dance. And in that rhythm something grew, small and trembling but undeniably true. Your warm moves slow like a bloom that does. No rush in your voice, no need for trust. Yet something inside me leans your way, like a flower persuaded by the softest ray. Maybe love doesn't spark and flame, but gathers softly without name. Maybe bloom is quieter than we guess, a gentle reach, a shy caress. Now when I see you across the room, my chest expands like it's making bloom. You talk with that same unhurried grace, eyes tracing patterns I long to chase. I'm not asking for answers yet, not expecting promises others said. Just this warmth that slowly climbs, wrapping around me in quiet rhymes. And if tomorrow shifts or bends, if distance grows or closeness ends, I'll still remember how this felt. The slow bloom in the night we dwelt. Your warmth moves slow like a bloom that does. No rush in your voice, no need for trust. Yet something inside me leans your way, like a flower persuaded by the softest ray. Slow bloom, don't hurry now. I'm learning your rhythm somehow. where words fall soft and the world grows light. Hold this moment before it fades, a fragile calm that our hearts have made. The rain outside draws lines on the glass, soft reminders of how moments pass. You sit beside me, fingers intertwined, as if touching me helps clear your mind. Streetlight shadows bloom on your skin, mapping places where love could begin. You breathe slow, almost afraid, as if noise could shatter what we've made. Your voice breaks through in a whisper thin. Sometimes I feel letting someone in. I nod, knowing stories behind your tone, a history of loving mostly alone. You lower your gaze, unsure and shy, yet trust flickers there, refusing to die. And I feel my chest shift out of place, making room for your trembling grace. Stay in the quiet with me tonight, where words fall soft and the world grows light. Hold this moment before it fades, a fragile calm that our hearts have made. Laugh once, short and unplanned, a sound that warms like a gentle hand. It slips out freely before you know, like a truth not meant to show. I study you as silence returns, the way your heart still aches and burns. You've carried memories too long alone, built your shelter out of stone, but here in this low-lit room, your guard loosens like a rising bloom. You shift closer just enough to feel the fading distance between what's real. Your shoulder brushes mine, a spark cutting through the comfortable dark. And though neither of us dares confess, our bodies speak the tenderness. Stay in the quiet with me tonight, where words fall soft and the world grows light. Hold this moment and before it fades, a fragile calm that our hearts have made. If love must grow slow, let it be this pace, unhurried breath, unfolding space. We don't need answers or solid ground, just the soft truth of being found. Your hand rests gently over mine, a hesitant gesture, almost divine. I feel you trying not to shake, fighting battles you didn't make. I whisper, you're safe right here, and watch your fear begin to clear. Not gone, but softened at the edge, a start, a shift, a trembling pledge. Later, as the night leans low, you ask me quietly not to go. And though dawn will come with noise and light, I'll stay with you through this quiet night. Stay in the quiet with me tonight, where words fall soft and the world grows light. Hold this moment before it fades, a fragile calm that our hearts have made. In this world, I choose you still. Steady, slow, against my will. quiet with me tonight, where words fall soft and the world grows light. Hold this moment before it fades, a fragile calm that our hearts have made. In this quiet, I choose you still. Steady, slow, against my will. The things we don't say linger in the air, soft as smoke, heavy with care. We circle around what we need the most, whispering truths like a trembling ghost. We sit across from one another, sharing warmth but hiding under layers built from older wounds, quiet storms in separate rooms. You stir your drink, avoiding my gaze, pretending your heart isn't caught in a maze. But the tremor in your fingers tells a story louder than your shells. I start to speak but hold it back, afraid affection might crack the safe facade you hold so tight, the fragile shelter built from night. Instead I ask, how was your day? Though both of us know it's not what I'd say, still you answer with your practiced smile, the one that struggles to stay a while. The things we don't say linger in the air, soft as smoke, heavy with care. We circle around what we need the most, whispering truth like a trembling ghost. Your shoulders fall when you sigh, a quiet plea you try to deny. I'm tired, you say, and leave it there, but tired of what you wouldn't share. I nod slowly, giving you room, but feeling the ache quietly bloom. The distance between us feels so near, a breath away yet shaped by fear. I wanna reach out, brush your skin, find a place where healing begins. But love is gentler when it waits, when it honors unspoken ways. Still I notice how your eyes grow wet, how long it hides in your silhouette, how your pulse quickens when I lean near. A wordless truth, sincere yet unclear. The things we don't say linger in the air, soft as smoke, heavy with care. We circle around what we need the most, whispering truth like a trembling ghost. One day we'll learn the courage to speak, to name the strength within the weak. But until then I'll sit with you, holding the silence we both grew. Later when we walk outside, you walk close, letting our hands collide. You don't take mine, just let them brush, a fleeting moment, a fragile hush. And though the night is cold and long, your presence hums like a quiet song. I feel your heart push toward my own, a truth too tender to be shown. As we part ways near your street, you pause as though conceding defeat. Your voice breaks low, don't go too far, a whispered plea beneath a distant star. I nod once, hearing what you meant, the silent echo of your sentiments. The things we don't say linger in the air, soft as smoke, heavy with care. We circle around what we need the most, whispering truths like a trembling ghost. The things we don't say linger in the air, yeah, soft as smoke, heavy with care. We circle someday soon when fear gives way, we'll speak the things we hide today. Your warm steps echo softly on the floor tonight, moving through my small room like a borrowed light. I didn't know affection could arrive so slow, but here you are, teaching me things I didn't know. You came over when the sky turned lavender gray, said the cold outside made you lose your way. Took off your coat and shook off the chill, sat on the edge of my bed, breathing still. You told me your day was heavier than most, spoke about people who disappear like ghosts. I handed you a cup of tea too hard to drink. You laughed and said you always overthink. We talked in low voices, almost whispering, as if the walls were listening, or as if we were remembering. Every pause between our words felt warm, like the universe wrapped us in its quiet form. Your warm steps echo softly on the floor tonight, moving through my small room like a borrowed light. I didn't know affection could arrive so slow, but here you are, teaching me things I didn't know. You traced your finger along my cluttered shelf, laughed at the tiny note I once wrote to myself. Tomorrow will be kinder, just breathe for now. You said I like that, it feels honest somehow. Outside the street lights flickered in a lazy hum. Inside your presence made my heart beat reluctantly drum. You leaned back, resting your head against the wall, and said being here makes me feel small, but in a safe way, like I can fall and not break anything at all. The moment hung there, tender and shy, like a feather drifting in a quiet sky. Didn't respond, afraid to misread, but the silence filled in everything I didn't need. Your warm steps echo softly on the floor tonight, moving through my small room like a borrowed light. I didn't know affection could arrive so slow, but here you are, teaching me things I didn't know. Maybe love isn't loud or bold, maybe it's the warmth we feel when hands unfold. Maybe it's knowing someone sits by your side, even when their fears are hard to hide. Your warm steps linger in my mind's quiet space, a soft reminder I can't erase. If tomorrow feels heavy or a little unkind, come back. Your warm steps always rewrite mine. When the light hits your face just right, I forget the world, forget the night. There's a quiet grace in the way you breathe, a kind of truth I never wanna leave. sit by the open window slow, letting the evening's amber glow spill across your tired eyes, softening the stories you disguise. You're not smiling, not trying to charm, just resting quietly, safe from harm. But something in your stillness speaks, a gentle strength beneath the weak. You brush your hair behind your ear, a gesture small yet crystal clear. I watch in silence, mesmerized, unable to hide how I'm paralyzed. It's not beauty in the usual sense, something simpler, more immense, a presence shaped by honest air, a feeling raw yet unaware. When the light hits your face just right, I forget the world, forget the night. There's a quiet grace in the way you breathe, a kind of truth I never wanna leave. You start to talk about your day, nothing special, just the usual way. Lost umbrellas, crowded trains, coffee spilled on someone's stains. But every detail pulls me in, not for meaning, but the way you begin, as though your voice tunes the room, turning even boredom into bloom. I laugh softly at your tiny woes and you pretend annoyance, but it shows the shy smile hiding at the edge, the way your shoulders lose their hedge. You lean back, stretching slow, unaware of how warm you glow. My pulse stumbles, losing track. I wanna lift you, pull you back. When the light hits your face just right, I forget the world, forget the night. There's a quiet grace in the way you breathe, a kind of truth I never wanna leave. Maybe love is found in the smallest scenes, in undone hair, in quiet routines. Maybe wonder lives where we least expect, in moments too simple to protect. As night settles along your skin, I feel a shift take root within. Your hand rests loosely by your side, an invitation you never tried. I reach for it, not fully bold, but gently warm against the cold. Your fingers curl in slow reply, a silent vow beneath the sky. You look at me without a word, as though speaking might disturb the delicate spell of fading light, a perfect frame dissolving into night. And in that pause our hearts align, yours leaning softly into mine. hits your face just right. I forget the world, forget the night. There's a quiet grace in the way you breathe, a kind of truth I never want to leave. Maybe light hits your face just right. I forget the world, forget the night. There's a quiet grace in the way you breathe, a kind of truth I never wanna leave. Stay with me in this fading hue. I want more nights like this with you. It's a butter day, melting slow between our laughs. Sunlight slipping through the blinds like it's giving us a pass. Every moment feels soft, sticking lightly to my sleeve. You could stay like this forever, I don't think I'd ever leave. You showed up with a bag of snacks you grabbed on the way, chips, cookies, something random you found today. Dropped your keys on my desk, missed the spot by a bit. Laughed to yourself, said wow, I'm really losing it. I brewed some tea, burned my tongue. You laughed again, said you do this every time, and yeah, I do it all again. Your socks didn't match, but somehow made sense. Blue on the left, a tiny cloud on the right, no pretense. Afternoon light painted the room in warm gold. You sat on the floor like you had stories to unfold. Talked about your dream where you rode a bike too small. I joked you'd look unique, knees knocking like you'd fall. You threw a pillow at me, pretending to be mad, but your smile gave you away, the best I ever had. It's a butter day, melting slow between our laughs. Sunlight slipping through the blinds like it's giving us a pass. Every moment feels soft, sticking lightly to my sleeve. You could stay like this forever, I don't think I'd ever leave. We tried making sandwiches but messed them all up. The peanut butter too thick, jelly spilling from the cup. You wiped it with your sleeve and made things worse. Said this is why cooking with me is basically a curse. But I liked it, the crumbs, the mess, the tiny disaster. It made time for slower and my heart beat a little faster. You hummed a tune off key but sweet, tapping your foot lightly, keeping a crooked beat. We sat on the sofa sharing one plate, talking on things that didn't need to hold weight. Your favorite cartoon, my terrible handwriting, the way small talk with you feels strangely exciting. It's a butter day, melting slow between our laps. Sunlight slipping through the blinds like it's giving us a pass. Every moment feels soft, sticking lightly to my sleeve. You could stay like this forever, I don't think I'd ever leave. If every day were built from moments like this, a little chaos, a little warmth, a little kiss, I think I'd finally understand what people mean when they say love hides in the ordinary routine. Yeah, it's a butter day, simple and slow. You make the quiet hours feel like they glow. Stay here a bit longer if you don't mind the mess. I think happiness looks something like this. To the sky fading over worn out glass, I watch the city blur as the minutes pass. Headphones on, thoughts walking side by side on this crowded ride. I find a little quiet inside. The bus shutters sighing at every stop. People spilling with their bags and thoughts. A child yawns into a parent's sleeve. Someone scrolls endlessly, refusing to leave. The overhead lights hum a tired tune, fluorescent halos in place of the moon. I lean my head lightly against the frame, counting the street lamps like a low burning flame. My reflection blends with the scene outside, half of me visible, the rest trying to hide. I catch the faint outline of my own eyes, older than I remember, still caught by surprise. Today was a blur of small polite phrases, half-hearted nods, recycled phrases. I did what I had to play my role, but left a portion of myself on hold. To mute sky fading over worn out glass, I watch the city blur as the minutes pass. Headphones on, thoughts walking side by side on this crowded ride. I find a little quiet inside. I think of you waiting, maybe making tea, maybe reading something that distracts you from me. Maybe you're lying on the floor checking your phone, laughing at memes, not wanting to feel alone. You send a message earlier, take your time, just get home safe. That's my favorite rhyme. I read it twice while crossing the street, felt my heart shuffle, adjusting its beat. A stranger nods off, their head nearly falls. Another stares blank at the stain on the walls. We're all in transit in more ways than one, moving through chapters we hope aren't done. I wonder if I'm doing enough to grow, or just learning new routes to the same old road. The sky outside bruises into purple and blue, painting in an answer I can't quite construe. Blue sky fading over worn out glass, I watch the city blur as the minutes pass. Headphones on, thoughts walking side by side on this crowded ride. I find a little quiet inside. Maybe life is this ruse we repeat, still finding fresh meaning in the worn out seat. Maybe the miracle is an escape or flight, but arriving home still willing to try again tonight. My stop creeps closer, announced in a chime. I gather my bag, tap my card one last time, step off into air that smells faintly of rain. The sky overhead now a thinner stain. I picture you at the doorway, sock feet on the floor, pretending not to listen for the sound of the door. I'm tired, but less hollow than before, as if that ride rinsed something sore. I walk a little slower down the final street, letting the rhythm of home sink with my feet. Whatever the day took, whatever it tried, I know there's warmth waiting on the other side. To the sky fading over worn out glass, I watch the city blur as the minutes pass. Headphones on, thoughts walking side by side on that crowded ride. I found a little quiet inside. Blue sky gone, but I'm under new light. Keys in the lock, soft voice heavy to describe. Coming back to you resets my drive. Under the desk light glow, my eyes blur. On the page hours pile up slowly like dust along the frame. But when your name appears at the corner of my screen, this tired little room turns softer than it seems. The cursor blinks at me like it's losing patience. Spreadsheets tangled in dull equations. My coffee's gone lukewarm, half untouched. I'm here, but my brain isn't keeping up much. The clock hands drag their feet in circles. Papers lie in crooked stacks like small hurdles. A pen rolls off the edge without a sound. I watch it fall, too lazy to pick it off the ground. Fluorescent hum quietly drills my skull. The air feels stale, heavy and full. I scroll through lines I've read 3 times, my thoughts dissolving into background chimes. Someone laughs at the far end of the hall, a hollow echo bouncing off every wall. Meanwhile, my chair complains when I lean back, a tiny protest at this daily track. Under the desk light glow, my eyes blur. On the page hours pile up slowly like dust along the frame. But when your name appears at the corner of my screen, this tired little room turns softer than it seems. My phone face down vibrates near my hand, a brief small tremor like shifting sand. I flip it over, see a message appear. Are you surviving or disappearing there? I smirk despite the weight behind my ribs, type back barely with improvised ad-libs. You send a sticker, someone lying on the floor, then a photo of your snacks from the tiny store. You complain about the bus, about the line, about the stranger who kept stepping on your spine. I answer with a mediocre joke, you reply with you're really not funny, but at a heart you never spoke. The room doesn't change, the walls stay plain, but something in my chest shifts, loosens its chain. The numbers on the screen still don't look kind, yet suddenly they feel like something I can climb. Under the desk light glow, my eyes blur. On the page hours pile up slowly like dust along the frame. But when your name appears at the corner of my screen, this tired little room turns softer than it seems. Maybe we both drag ourselves through similar days, seated in separate corners, counting different delays. But your words fold neatly into my fatigue, like a small blanket over this weekday league. I adjust the lamp, lower it a notch, eyes recalibrate to the softened watch. The pen is still on the floor, but I pick it up, draw a tiny smile inside my paper cup. I mark my tasks in patient rows, breathing slower as the daylight goes. There's nothing heroic about this scene, yet it feels important in ways I've never seen. I imagine you somewhere under your own light, typing your thoughts into the blue of the night. If we're both just trying not to come apart, maybe these simple messages are how we start. Under the desk light glow, my eyes blur. On the page hours pile up slowly like dust along the frame. But when your name appears at the corner of my screen, this tired little room turns softer than it seems. Under the desk light glow, hours still move slow, but now there's a thread between us that only we know. This ordinary workday, this narrow little sight, feels less like a burden and more like shared daylight. Under the desk light glow, hours still move slow, but now there's a thread between us that only we know. This ordinary workday, this narrow little sight, feels feels less like a burden and more like shared daylight. It's a late snack kind of love, crumbs scattered on the tiles. You steal a bite from my plate, wearing those sleepy smiles. It's a late snack kind of love, careless and sincere. Midnight tastes better whenever you're here. You knocked at my door, close to 12:30. Said you needed company and something edible as well. I opened my fridge, half empty as always. You said, guess we're cooking chaos tonight anyways. We laughed at the bread that crumbled too fast, jam dripping down like a memory from the past. You tried to clean it with your sleeve in a rush. I handed you a towel, your cheeks turning a blush. You leaned on my counter like you lived there for years, spoke about small fears and overdue tears. But your voice stayed light, carried by trust, as if vulnerability wasn't something to adjust. It's a late snack kind of love, crumbs scattered on the tiles. You steal a bite from my plate, wearing those sleepy smiles. It's a late snack kind of love, careless and sincere. Midnight tastes better whenever you're here. You sat on my chair with your knees pulled tight, hair falling forward, catching the kitchen light. You joked about leaving early, but didn't move. Your stillness felt like the softest truth. You hummed off key while waiting for tea, a broken little melody just for you and me. Every note out of place made the moment more real, like the kind of night you don't try to conceal. You nudged my arm and said, don't overthink. I laughed too late, taking a cautious drink. You said you're impossible with a playful shove, but your eyes gave you away, a quiet kind of love. It's a late snack kind of love, crumbs scattered on the tiles. You steal a bite from my plate, wearing those sleepy smiles. It's a late snack kind of love, careless and sincere. Midnight tastes better whenever you're here. Maybe affection isn't polished or neat. Maybe it's jam stains and mismatched feet. Maybe it lives in the way you stay long after you said you're going away. So if hunger hits and the world feels tough, come knock again, midnight is patient enough. It's a late snack kind of love, tender and true, the quiet, messy kind that fits me and you. I'm night filing every little thought I made, sorting out the chaos from the choices of the day. The desk is cold, the hallway lights are low, and something in the silence feels safer than I know. The office emptied out an hour before, chairs pushed in neatly, coats off the door, a single mug forgotten near the sink, half-dry coffee forming an unsteady ring. I stack my papers into uneven piles, label each folder with half-hearted smiles. Deadlines loom in pencil along the rim, reminding me of tasks I failed to trim. The air conditioner hums like a tired plea, its breath circling above indifferently. I rub my temples with the back of my hand, thinking of things I still don't understand. The emails unanswered, the words unsent, the small mistakes I didn't intend. Everything feels like a loose thread tonight, pulling at places no one sees in daylight. I'm night filing every little thought I made, sorting out the chaos from the choices of the day. The desk is cold, the hallway lights are low, And something in the silence feels safer than I know. I check the time, 9:32, the hour when regret usually comes into view. Not the dramatic kind that stings the chest, but the low hum of I could have done that better, I guess. I replay conversations like short reruns, trying to decode what I should have done. You text me still there in a bubble of blue, and I answer almost, though that wasn't quite true. Paper clips rattle inside a shallow tray, loose change from my pockets hides away. My jacket on the chair asks to go home, but I'm held by this urge to sit here alone. There's a comfort in the quiet tasks, the ones without pressure, without any masks. Filing memories between the lines, shelving emotions in makeshift signs. I'm night filing every little thought I made, and sorting out the chaos from the choices of the day. The desk is cold, the hallway lights are low, and something in the silence feels safer than I know. Maybe this ritual keeps me steady, a small ceremony before I'm ready to step out where the city breathes, when neon shakes above the streets. I finally shut the laptop with a muted click, stretch my aching shoulders slow and thick, slip on my jacket, tie the sleeves, feel the warmth gather beneath the leaves of my wandering thoughts that drift with me down the hallway past security. Outside, the night isn't harsh or bright, just a quiet companion for my fragile side. I'm tired, but not entirely worn. There's something healing in being reborn in this mundane closing act of mine, aligning chaos one file at a time. I'm night filing every little thought I made, sorting out the chaos from the choices of the day. The desk is cold, the hallway lights are low, and something in the silence feels safer than I know. I'm night filing, letting burdens unwind, stepping into the night with a calmer mind. Every small task I finish before I depart makes room for tomorrow to start. Sleeves rolled, I let the day fall off my bones, moving through the apartment like I'm not alone. Lights dim low and the air turns warm, quiet rituals shelter me from the storm. I kick off my shoes near the second stair, drop my keys with a clatter without a care. The sink greets me with the modest pile, plates that wait with inconvenient style. I fill the bowl, let the water rise, watch the steam fog up my tired eyes. A spoon clinks softly beneath the haze, and suddenly it feels like I've reclaimed this place. I open a window to let the day out, it's leftover noise trailing in a pout. The neighbor's TV murmurs through the wall, the hallway creaks with someone's slow fall. My coat slumps over the dining chair, proof of the hours I wasn't really there. And yet this small undoing of weight grounds me in ways I can't articulate. Sleeves rolled, I let the day fall off my bones, moving through the apartment like I'm not alone. Lights dim low and the air turns warm, quiet rituals shelter me from the storm. I boil some water, drop noodles in, stir the broth thought as my thoughts begin to sort themselves out in lazy rows, lining up scenes only evening knows. You call me once, then send a smile, saying don't forget to rest for a while. I send a picture of the messy stove, caption trying my best as you've often told. Steam rises like a gentle scold, reminding me of stories we haven't told. I wipe the counter in slow circles round, feeling the rhythm of homeward sound. Sometimes comfort isn't loud or bright, but found in the corners of a quiet night, in the whisper of warm ceramic bowls and the soft echo of turning rolls. Sleeves rolled, I let the day fall off my bones, moving through the apartment like I'm not alone. Lights dim low and the air turns warm. Quiet rituals shelter me from the storm. Every evening has its private spell, a space where frantic thoughts exhale, where folded laundry and simmering broth can stitch together what the daylight lost. After I eat, I rinse my cup, fold the blanket I never picked up. I scroll through photos of things I missed, a dog on the street, a sunset kiss. The weight of the day softens its stance, as if offering me a second chance. I stretch my arms toward the ceiling light, feeling my pulse settle into the night. If tomorrow becomes another uphill climb, I'll still have this quiet, this simple time where sleeves rolled up mean letting go of all the heaviness I couldn't show. Sleeves rolled, I let the day fall off my bones, moving through the apartment like I'm not alone. Lights dim low and the air turns warm. Quiet rituals shelter me from the storm. Sleeves rolled and the night feels kind, restoring something I left behind. In this small room, in this soft enfold, I gather the courage to meet tomorrow bold. Sleeves rolled and the night feels kind, restoring something I left behind. In this small room, in this softened fold, I gather the courage to meet tomorrow bold. We had a soft argument, no doors were slammed, just heavier silence and 2 cups left unmanned. Words didn't shatter, but they bent the air. We sat on different sides, still somehow a pair. You said I've been distant all throughout the week, eyes on my phone while you tried to speak. I said I was tired, brain drained and thin. You replied you're always tired when I walk in. The TV flickered with a show neither of us watched, our attention frayed, our balance notched. The cushions dipped where you curled your knees, my hands tangled in thoughts I couldn't appease. There was no shouting match, no pointed blame, just 2 quiet people wrestling the same unnamed flame. You looked at the window, I looked at the floor, both of us guarding some invisible door. I thought about how small things add up, unwashed dishes, a chipped coffee cup, late replies to messages, half-read texts, tiny unspoken maybe laters and not yets. We had a soft argument, no doors were slammed, just heavier silence and 2 cups left unmanned. Words didn't shatter, but they bent the air. We sat on different sides, still somehow a pair. You asked, do you even notice when I'm near? That question landed heavier than I let appear. I wanted to say of course more than you know, but pride folded my tongue, made my answer slow. I muttered something plain, a half-built phrase. You sighed and said you always talk in that maze. You weren't cruel, just a little worn, like a sweater stretched out, still trying to stay warm. The clock ticked too loudly on the pale wall. The room felt narrower, the ceiling small. Yet in that press of unsaid doubt, I felt a part of me quietly reach out. Not with grand speeches or romantic lines, but with the simple urge to gently align. We had a soft argument, no doors were slammed, just heavier silence and 2 cups left unmanned. Words didn't shatter, but they bent the air. We sat on different sides, still somehow a pair. Maybe love isn't clean or impeccably neat. Maybe it stumbles over incomplete beats. Maybe it lives in these half-broken talks, where we learn how to mend in unsteady walks. I shifted closer, just a breath at first, heart pacing quietly, rehearsing the worst. I said I'm clumsy with words you already know, but when I'm tired I still want you close, even if it doesn't show. Your shoulders sank, not in defeat, but in that way you do when you finally exhale heat. You said I don't need poetry or perfect replies, just proof you see me with open eyes. So I nodded slowly, let my hand find yours. The room unknotted, invisible cords. We didn't fix everything in that small span, but something softened where our fingers ran. We had a soft argument, no doors were slammed, just heavier silence and 2 cups left unmanned. Words didn't shatter, but they bent the air. We sat on different sides, still somehow a pair. We had a soft argument, nothing fell apart, but it shifted the furniture inside my heart. Next time I'll speak before silence feels hard. How even quiet storms can rearrange it all. Rearrange it all. We had a soft argument, nothing fell apart, but it shifted the furniture inside my heart. Next time I'll speak before silence grows tall, because even quiet storms can rearrange it all. On the sunbeam chair, you looked half asleep, resting like a secret the morning wants to keep. On the sunbeam chair, you softened the day, turning simple silence into something that stayed. You curled up, knees drawn in tight, a blanket draped over you, catching the light. Said my room felt warmer than you recall. I laughed, maybe it's you, warm in the wall. The air smelled faintly of something sweet, maybe shampoo or the toast we didn't eat. Your voice was low, barely awake, asking if dreaming counts as a coffee break. On the sunbeam chair, you looked half asleep, resting like a secret the morning wants to keep. On the sunbeam chair, you soften the day, turning simple silence into something that stayed. You stretched lightly, arms slow and wide, yawned in a way you didn't try to hide. The chair creaked softly beneath your weight, a tiny sound but somehow intimate. I asked what sunbeam chair. You looked half asleep, resting like a secret the morning wants to keep. On the sunbeam chair, you softened the day, turning simple silence into something that stayed. If afternoons fade and mornings get rare, I'll still remember you on that sunbeam chair. A moment so simple it barely spoke, yet warm enough to last even after we woke. Your warm steps settle softly on my wooden floor, like the sound of someone closing a gentle door. You bring a calm I didn't know I'd lost, a quiet place untouched by noise or cost. You came by when the streetlights blinked awake, carrying the cold on your sleeve, a breath to take. Said the day felt heavy, like it dragged behind you, and you needed somewhere still, someone kind too. I handed you a blanket I never really used. You wrapped it around your shoulders like worn out news. You whispered something low I couldn't hear, but the shape of your sigh made your meaning clear. Your shoes left faint marks near my desk, tracing a path that felt strangely picturesque. You asked if you could stay just for a while, but your eyes suggested a longer mile. Your warm steps settle softly on my wooden floor, like the sound of someone closing a gentle door. You bring a calm I didn't know I'd lost, a quiet place untouched by noise or cost. You touched the edge of my bookshelf with care, paused on a title as if stories lived there. Said you keep things neat with a half-smile grin. I shrugged and said it helps me hold things in. The room felt smaller but somehow lighted too, as if every corner adjusted itself around you. Your voice softened as you spoke of doubt, but the rhythm of your breath slowly leveled out. Outside, a car passed with a faint low hum. Inside, your presence made the moment numb. Not empty, but thick, like the air before rain, filling the silence with something hard to explain. Your warm steps settle softly on my wooden floor, like the sound of someone closing a gentle door. You bring a calm I didn't know I'd lost, a quiet place untouched by noise or cost. Maybe love isn't loud or bright, maybe it lives in the slow dim light. Maybe it's your weight leaning on my wall, reminding me I don't have to stand tall. Your warm steps echo after you leave, in the quiet gaps where I start to breathe. Come back whenever you need the space. Your warm steps still linger in this place. shared a window toast and half sweet tea. Sunlight crawling in like it was meant to me. Your quiet laugh warmed up the air. Mornings feel different when you're here somewhere. You rubbed your eyes, hair still a mess. Said I slept too hard under your breath. I handed you a slice with butter spread thin. You smiled like the day could finally begin. The street outside buzzed in a lazy start. Cars moving slow like they had no heart. But inside our kitchen hummed its tune. A tiny orchestra playing soft before noon. We shared a window toast and half sweet tea. Sunlight crawling in like it was meant to me. Your quiet laugh warmed up the air. Mornings feel different when you're here somewhere. You leaned on my counter, half awake still, tracing shapes on your mug with casual skill. Said you dreamed of running through fields of green. I joked your dreams are cleaner than anything I've seen. You shrugged and said maybe life's not deep, as crumbs fell softly from the toast you keep. I picked them up, placing them aside. You laughed again, eyes open wide. We shared a window toast and half sweet tea. Sunlight crawling in like it was meant to me. Your quiet laugh warmed up the air. Mornings feel different when you're here somewhere. If every morning came with moments like these, simple warmth drifting in on a gentle breeze, I'd wake up early without complaint. For window toast, your smile and this soft restraint. Found a little joy in my sidewalk pockets, loose change, memories and half-sketch sonnets. Nothing too grand, nothing too loud, just easy steps drifting through a mellow crowd. I step outside with my headphones low, letting the evening find its natural flow. The bakery air spills into the street, warm bread scent mixing with car heat. A dog tugs hard on its owner's sleeve, chasing dreams only dogs perceive. A cyclist hums past with tired grace, sunset melting across their face. The pavement glitters with leftover rain, tiny mirrors catching the last light stain. A sidestep, a puddle shaped like a map, trace continents made from nature's mishap. My keys jingle lightly in my coat, a simple rhythm, an accidental note. A stranger nods, I nod back too, a small acknowledgement, nothing new. Found a little joy in my sidewalk pockets, loose change, memories and half-sketch sonnets. Nothing too grand, nothing too loud, just easy steps drifting through a mellow crowd. I think of you when wind shifts calm, your voice settling like a healing balm. You laugh at how I pace in loops, collecting thoughts like forgotten soup. Sometimes I narrate my life inside, pretending I'm in a film long stride. The city becomes a gentle set where every detail pays a debt. A stick appeals from a lamppost pole, advertising lessons for mind and soul. Teenagers shout from across the block, Bustling joy in a noisy flock of bus screeches as doors open wide. Mooders spill out in a tired tide, yet somehow it all feels soft today, as if the noise agreed to play. Found a little joy in my sidewalk pockets, loose change, memories in half-sketch sonnets. Nothing too grand, nothing too loud, just easy steps drifting through a mellow crowd. Maybe life is mostly this, unexpected sparks of subtle bliss, moments we catch without intent, soft reminders of rest well spent. I pause at a corner beneath warm light, watching the sky fall into night. A cat leaps onto a windowsill, surveying the street with ancient will. I grin at its arrogance, its tiny reign. A monarch seated above the mundane. My phone buzzes, your message glows. Where are you wandering? It simply shows. I reply, just walk until the stars come out. A vague confession, half truth, no doubt. Because truth is, I'm wandering through my mind, finding pieces of calm I rarely find. And tonight in these pockets small, I carry fragments that steady it all. Found a little joy in my sidewalk pockets, loose change, memories in half-sketch sonnets. Nothing too grand, nothing too loud, just easy steps drifting through a mellow crowd. Found a little joy in my sidewalk pockets, loose change, memories in half-sketch sonnets. Nothing too grand, nothing too loud, just easy steps drifting through a mellow crowd. And sidewalk pockets filled again with tiny scenes that feel like friends. When tomorrow weighs a little more, I'll return to this simple store. I'm slightly too early, standing by the door, checking my phone like I've never done before. The cafe hums softly, sunlight in a swirl, and time feels kind in this quiet little world. I ordered a latte, I barely sip, watching foam collapse at the cup's pale lip. Barista speaking gentle code, steam hisses softly in practice modes. Two strangers laugh about last night's show. Their energy easy, unhurried, slow. Someone studies pages worn and bent, marking notes with quiet intent. I pick a seat by the sunlit glass, trace shapes in the spots that people pass. Cars move outside in softened pace, mornings always give the city grace. Your message pops, running a bit late. I smile, somehow already guessed your state. I type, no worries, take your time, but delete the heart, I almost had it in rhyme. I'm slightly too early, standing by the door, checking my phone like I've never done before. The cafe hums softly, sunlight in a swirl, and time feels kind in this quiet little world. I watch an old man retie his shoes, his hands steady with practice cues. A child presses their face to the pane, leaving fog prints shaped like rain. The overhead playlist cycles through songs too soft to break the mood. My mind wanders to last week's chat. Your laugh caught me off guard just like that. I imagine you racing down the street, one shoe loose, your jacket incomplete, your hair slightly messy from the wind, carrying stories you've yet to begin. I check my watch just once or twice, feel the weight transform into something nice. Being early suddenly feels right, a private moment before the light. I'm slightly too early, standing by the door, checking my phone like I've never done before. The cafe hums softly, sunlight in a swirl, and time feels kind in this quiet little world. Not every moment needs a rush, some bloom best in gentle hush. Maybe life is sweeter when we're forced to simply breathe again. You find finally appear with the usual stride, apologizing with the sheepish pride. You say, did you wait long, with guilty eyes? I say, not at all, and it's mostly not lies. We sit together in the warming glow, the morning unfolding slow, slow, slow. You steal a sip from my cooling drink, grimace, laugh, it's worse than I think. And suddenly the day feels wide, a quiet joy rising inside. If being early means moments like these, then I'll always arrive before the breeze. I'm slightly too early, but I don't really mind. These small delays make room for another kind. The cafe hums softly, sunlight in a swirl, and time feels kind in this quiet little world. I'm slightly too early, but I don't really mind. These small delays make room for another kind. The cafe hums softly, sunlight in a swirl, and time feels kind in this quiet little world. Table for one, but the night feels kind. Slow jazz swirling in the back of my mind. I'm eating alone, but I don't feel small. This quiet moment might be best of all. I choose a corner seat by the fogged up pane. Watch raindrops streak like shifting lanes. The server sets water with a practice nod. Moving with grace only routine could applaud. Minutes shuffle in my calloused hands. Printed promises of simple plans. I order something warm and plain, letting the comfort ease my brain. A couple laughs, two tables right. Their energy soft, not too bright. They share a plate like a secret pact, leaving crumbs as proof of impact. Behind me someone types too fast, messages flying, moving past. But here I sit with steady breath, feeling oddly safe in this quiet reef. Table for one, but the night feels kind. Slow jazz swirling in the back of my mind. I'm eating alone, but I don't feel small. This quiet moment might be best of all. Rise with rising steam, smelling like home from some old dream. I break the bread, watch crumbs spill. The smallest rituals that help me still. A song plays off from the hidden speakers, gentle chords from seasoned seekers. The bass hums deep like a friendly voice, reminding me loneliness can be a choice. You text in a yet with a teasing line. I snap a picture, say tables on mine. You send an emoji, rolling its eyes. I don't overthink, just enjoy the fries. I smirk at how you read my mind, knowing the storms I leave behind. Tonight though, no storms appear, just a mellow hum I barely hear. Table for one, but the night feels kind. Slow jazz swirling in the back of my mind. I'm eating alone, but I don't feel small. This quiet moment might be best of all. Ooh, some nights we crave a crowd or a cheer, but some nights ask us to stay right here, to breathe in warmth, release the strain, and eat our worries down to grain. I finish slow, savoring each bite, feeling my pulse fall into light. The server brings tea with a quiet slide, steam curling like thoughts I once denied. I watch the doors, people come and go, coats dripping trails of melted snow. Yet inside the air remains serene, a pocket of peace I hadn't seen. Paying the bill, I stand relaxed, slipping my hands in my coat unmaxed, then stepping out into cooling air. I feel fuller than what was served there. Table for one, but the night feels kind. Slow jazz swirling in the back of my transfer seat, rolling through the evening. Lights pass by like the thoughts I'm weaving. City hum follows me from stop to stop, and my quiet mind starts to lift and drop. I grab the rail above my head, stand with the sway of the street ahead. A soft announcement crackles through, calling out stations I never knew. The glass hums gently under my hand, vibrating lightly with each command. A couple whispers in the corner seat, sharing secrets soft and sweet. The student flips pages far too fast, like running away from chapters past. An old man taps his foot in time to a melody only he hears in rhyme. I catch my own reflection faint, half shadow, half worn out pain. I look tired but not unkind, a tag of the day stamped on my mind. In this transfer seat, rolling through the evening. Lights pass by like the thoughts I'm weaving. City hum follows me from stop to stop, and my quiet mind starts to lift and drop. Your message sits unread for minutes long, not because it's wrong or strong, but because I'm scared to break the calm, scared to spill thoughts that never heal or bomb. The bus leans left into a fading light, painting silhouettes soft and slight. Street lamps rise like gentle proof that the world continues under every roof. A child waves out the fogged up pain to no one in particular again and again. A woman hums with her earbuds low, a tune I swear I used to know. I breathe in warm unfiltered air mixed with echoes of everywhere. This moving space becomes my frame, holding pieces I seldom name. In this transfer seat, rolling through the evening. Lights pass by like the thoughts I'm weaving. City hum follows me from stop to stop, and my quiet mind starts to lift and drop. Maybe rides like this, a small reset button, pressing gently at all my hidden gluttons. Maybe I need the world to move for me, to remind me who I'm trying to be. I finally tap your name with care, send a reply more honest than rare. Today was heavy, but I'm fine now. A truth I borrow, a gentle vow. You send back rest, I'm here tonight. A tiny anchor in dim twilight. I lean into the shutter of the track, feeling something pull me back. As the bus nears my quiet street, I realize peace sits in this seat. Not dramatic, not complete, but enough to soften my heartbeat. In this transfer seat, rolling through the evening. Lights pass by like the thoughts I'm weaving. City hum follows me from stop to stop, and my quiet mind starts to lift and drop. In this transfer seat, rolling through the evening. Lights pass by like the thoughts I'm weaving. City hum follows me from stop to stop, and my quiet mind starts to lift and drop. And when I step into the cooling air, I'll carry this calm you help repair. Warm pavement under my shoes tonight. Street lamps humming their familiar light. Every breath settles deeper in my chest as I walk slow, letting the city rest. The day was heavy in its quiet way, stacked with small tasks that never stay. But now the air feels softened down, like someone brushed calm across the town. A taxi glides with a muted sigh, His headlights drifting like half-awake guys. A group of kids argue over snacks, laughing loud then doubling back. My hands stay deep in my coat as I move, finding a rhythm I don't need to prove. A dark box once then thinks again, as if unsure if I'm worth a spin. The sidewalk glows from leftover sun, a warmth that lingers though the day is done. I tilt my head and let the breeze unwind, loosening knots I'd left behind. Warm pavement under my shoes tonight, street lamps humming their familiar light. Every breath settles deeper in my chest as I walk slow, letting the city rest. A bus rolls past, half empty inside, its passengers leaning in tight stride. I see reflections laid within someone else's day, someone else's din. A man in headphones mouths his lines, maybe rehearsing truths as signs. A girl rubs sleep from her drifting gaze, lost between hours and twilight haze. I cross the road where the paint is cracked, where stories stop and stories come back. A corner store glows with neon blends, selling cheap comfort to passing friends. I buy a drink I don't quite need, just for the ritual, the tiny fee. The cashier nods with a practiced look, like a character I know from a borrowed book. Warm pavement under my shoes tonight, street lamps humming their familiar light. Every breath settles deeper in my chest as I walk slow, letting the city rest. Maybe healing isn't loud or bright, maybe it appears in muted light. In footsteps evening learns to trace, in quiet breaths we slowly pace. A message lights my phone again, your name glowing gentle like a quiet friend. You ask, you okay, today seemed rough. I type a reply, yeah, just tired enough. But beneath that truth there's something more, a calm I hadn't felt before. This walk, this night, this tempered air, they're stitching loose threads with subtle care. Now by the time I reach my waiting door, I don't feel drained like I did before. Warm pavement cooling behind my feet marks another day I managed to meet. Warm pavement under my shoes tonight, street lamps humming their familiar light. Every breath settles deeper in my chest as I walk slow, letting the city rest. Ooh, warm pavement fading into dark, but something steady glows in my heart. Warm pavement fading into dark, but something steady glows in my heart. Warm pavement fading into dark, but something steady glows in my heart. Warm pavement fading into dark, but something steady glows in my heart. Ooh. Window glow tracing shadows on my wall. Night hum softly as the hours fall. I sit alone but I'm not undone. The dark feels gentle when the day is done. The lamp beside me flickers twice, as if deciding how to slice the heaviness drifting in the room, mingling with the city's bloom. Car lights smear like melted paint, passing by with no complaint. The distant siren fades to dust, another reminder of the world I trust. My cup from earlier still holds heat, proof of a moment I didn't complete. Emails linger unanswered in their queue, yet none of them feel urgent in this view. My thoughts float slow in the quiet air, circling worries I rarely share. But tonight they don't bark or bite, they simply unfurl under the softer light. Window glow tracing shadows on my wall. Night hum softly as the hours fall. I sit alone but I'm not undone. The dark feels gentle when the day is done. I think of people I miss in waves, friends who drifted in unpredictable ways. Conversations pause without goodbyes, laughter buried under different skies. Sometimes I wish I could rewind days, rewalk streets with their younger haze. But life folds us into separate lanes, each of us chasing our own refrains. Your name rises gently in my mind now, uninvited but familiar somehow. We haven't spoken since early spring, yet I wonder if you still hum that song you'd sing. Time moves strangely around old ties, stretching out into quiet sighs. Still this glow by the window frame softens the ache of forgotten names. Window glow tracing shadows on my wall. Night hum softly as the hours fall. I sit alone but I'm not undone. The dark feels gentle when the day is done. Heavy ache, but some are kind enough to let me take one slow breath, one steady beat, one quiet step back to my own feet. I pull the blanket up to my chin, feel the cotton brush against my skin. The world outside keeps turning fast, but here it feels like time drips past. I close my eyes and hear the night, the hush of a city without its bite. And somewhere deep beneath the noise I rediscover my quieter voice. Tomorrow will come with its usual strain, its lists, its deadlines, its scattered rain. But tonight in this window glow I'm learning how to ease the undertow. Window glow tracing shadows on my wall. Night hum softly as the hours fall. I sit alone but I'm not undone. The dark feels gentle when the day is done. Window glow soft as a whispered tone, in its warmth I'm quietly sown. The world can wait till morning light, for now I belong to this softened night. I belong to this softened night.
Tie the evening apron, heat begins to rise. Steam curls upward like small, honest lies. Every chopped up moment falling into place, filling up the kitchen with a gentle grace. The pan wakes up with a sizzling cry, oil dancing in a golden sky. Slice the vegetables in a neat rows, try not to think where the day goes. Music hums low from my old machine. Soft chords brushing the edges clean. The countertop catches my leaning hand. Steadying thoughts I don't quite understand. The fridge door groans like it's half asleep, letting out cold whispers it tries to keep. A spoon taps rhythm on the wooden board, matching the beat my nerves afford. Outside the hallway muffles a laugh, someone returning from the daily graph. And here I stand, apron tied tight, finding rhythm in domestic life. The tie the evening apron, heat begins to rise. Steam curls upward like small, honest lies. Every chopped up moment falling into place, filling up the kitchen with a gentle grace. Your message floats in what you making tonight. I answer with the photo grains of rice catching light. You say it looks messy but in a charming way. I pretend to be offended but fail halfway. The garlic browns faster than I expect, forcing me into a tiny redirect. Stirring quickly I curse the burn, laugh at myself on the second turn. Something simmers in this quiet room, not just food but the day's leftover gloom. As I stir it thins into tender steam, reminding me softness isn't a dream. A song shifts keys on my speaker shelf and I suddenly feel more like myself. I move with ease through the narrow space, leaving footprints of warmth in every place. Tie the evening apron, heat begins to rise. Steam curls upward like small, honest lies. Every chopped up moment falling into place, filling up the kitchen with a gentle grace. Maybe what heals us isn't loud, not neon or applause from a crowd. Maybe it's the ritual of cutting and stirring, a quiet anchor against constant wearing. By the time the dish reaches its final hue, I'm humming along to something new. Taste test done on the back of a spoon, salt just right, flavors in tune. I played it slowly, breathing deep, feeling the calm I get to keep. You text again, save me some, my grin depends on when you come. The room has changed in subtle ways, softened edges, slower days, apron untied. I finally see these tiny routines take care of me. Tie the evening apron, heat begins to rise. Steam curls upward like small, honest slice. Every chopped up moment falling into place, filling up the kitchen with a gentle grace. Tie the evening apron, heat begins to rise. Steam curls upward like small, honest lies. Every chopped up moment falling into place, filling up the kitchen with a gentle grace. Apron folded by the window light, and dinner becoming my quiet night. We're doing a grocery aisle waltz, stepping around baskets like it's nobody's fault. You laugh as I reach for the cereal too high, and the whole place brightens under fluorescent sky. The cart has one broken wheel that squeaks, complaining in small mechanical shrieks. You push it anyway with cheerful grace, navigating corners at a leisurely pace. I follow behind, comparing pasta shapes, debating which sauce each noodle escapes. A kid zooms past with a candy stash, nearly causing a three-car crash. You point out a snack you used to love, I add it to the basket with a tiny shove. We weigh onions like we know the trade, pretending to be chefs we've never played. You ask me if I want tea or juice, I shrug both and laugh at my excuse. You roll your eyes but toss them in, a small victory disguised as sin. We're doing a grocery aisle waltz, stepping around baskets like it's nobody's fault. You laugh as I reach for the cereal too high, and the whole place brightens under fluorescent sky. In the freezer aisle the air bites sharp, fogging our glasses like an awkward heart. We debate frozen pizza types, each box a promise of late night bites. You say this one's too oily and I agree, but still at it in pure hypocrisy. You notice and nudge me with a grin, fine, but you're cooking if we pick this again. We sample grapes when no one sees. Two tiny crimes soft like summer breeze. Your phone vibrates with a muted tone, but your silence, it's staying in this zone. The speakers play a song no one knows, yet somehow it fits the supermarket pose. We hum along in unpracticed time, turning routine into a half rhyme. We're doing a grocery aisle waltz, stepping around baskets like it's nobody's fault. You laugh as I reach for the cereal too high, and the whole place brightens under fluorescent sky. Maybe the world doesn't need to be grand. Maybe joy lives in where we stand, between dish soap and bags of rice, finding warmth in something this nice. We check out slowly, ignoring the line. You sneaking snacks into my side. The cashier scans with sleepy eyes, barely noticing our quiet reprise. When we step outside with paper bags, the handles dig in as the daylight sags. You say the sky looks soft and wide, and I feel the same standing beside. What started as errands just to kill time became a pocket of life's gentle rhyme. If love is real in moments small, lives here between carts and call. We're doing a grocery aisle waltz, stepping around baskets like it's nobody's fault. You laugh as I reach for the cereal too high, and the whole place brightens under fluorescent sky. We're doing a grocery aisle waltz, stepping around baskets like it's nobody's fault. You laugh as I reach for the cereal too high, and the whole place brightens under fluorescent sky. And maybe someday when we recall, this aisle might be our favorite of all. It's a half-speed Friday, my mind's already gone, typing half a sentence and stretching out a yawn. The clock keeps slowing down like it's teasing me somehow, and I'm counting every minute till I make it out. My inbox is a forest of unread lines, requests mixed with deadline tangled signs. I reply to two, ignore the rest, promise myself I'm doing my best. My coworker laughs at something far away, I pretend I heard it, nod and sway. There's music leaking from someone's seat, a beat brighter than my heartbeat. The sunlight angles through the blinds, cutting stripes across my restless mind. The printer coughs like an aging pet, spitting paper full of things I'll forget. I tap my pen on the wooden desk lid, rhythms echoing mild unrest. The vending machine hums a tired groan, reminding me I'm not alone. It's a half-speed Friday, my mind's already gone, typing half a sentence and stretching out a yawn. The clock keeps slowing down like it's teasing me somehow, and I'm counting every minute till I make it out. My phone buzzes once, your casual what's up. I answer with a shrug emoji and a picture of my cup. You say you'll wander around a quiet park, listening to songs that make the day less dark. I envy the softness you get to feel while I wrestle spreadsheets like a spinning wheel. Still your message pulls my shoulders down, loosening the grip of this weary town. I take a short break by the stairwell frame, watch strangers pass with no aim. A kid drags his backpack through the hall, an intern drops something with a small fall. Life continues in imperfect rhythms, tiny beats and mismatched prisms. I breathe them in like subtle charms, collecting calm in my restless arms. It's a half-speed Friday, my mind's already gone, typing half a sentence and stretching out a yawn. The clock keeps slowing down like it's teasing me somehow, and I'm counting every minute till I make it out. Maybe freedom starts just thinking of the door, maybe that's the lift I've been waiting for. A tiny hope tucked beneath my sleeve, a promise that tonight I get to leave. At 5:02 the room exhales, the buzz fades out, the chatter pales. Coats go on, keyboard sleep, someone jokes about plans they'll never keep. I stand and stretch till my back pops, shake off the weeks left overnight.
nights the hallway smells faintly of rain, as if the sky's forgiving us of strain. You text again, meet me near the light. I smile at your timing, always right. Step outside, the air slightly cool, and suddenly the world feels new. It's a half-speed Friday, but now I'm on my way, leaving all the clutter I carried through the day. The clock can drag behind me, I'm already out, finding my weekend stride. Without a doubt, it's a half-speed Friday, but now I'm on my way, leaving all the clutter I carried through the day. The clock can drag behind me, I'm already out, finding my weekend stride. Without a doubt. It's a late snack, love. Crumbs on the counter shine. You're stealing bites from my plate like it's some kind of sign. It's a late snack, love. Laughing at the mess we made. Midnight feels sweeter when we don't act afraid. You knocked on my door at 12:15. Said you were hungry but too lazy to cook yourself. I opened the fridge, found nothing but bread. You said perfect toast, it had jam instead. We stood in the kitchen like it was our stage. Your sleepy face brighter than any cafe. You leaned on the counter, hair falling loose. Asked, why do I always come here when I'm confused? I shrugged, joked, because my food's free. You rolled your eyes, said no, it's just you, probably. We pretended not to hear the truth hiding there, in the clink of plates in the cool midnight air. It's a late snack, love. Crumbs on the counter shine. You're stealing bites from my plate like it's some kind of sign. It's a late snack, love. Laughing at the mess we made. Midnight feels sweeter when we don't act afraid. Jam dripped down your thumb, you tried to hide. I grabbed a napkin and stood by your side. You said, don't look at me, I'm a disaster. I said, yeah, but you make disasters look faster. But we argued about which cartoon had the best theme. Then paused because your laugh broke into a gleam. The kitchen lights flickered, humming low. Your voice softened as you whisper slow. Do you ever feel like nights like this are trying to tell us something we might miss? I didn't answer, just nodded my head. Handed you the last piece of toasted bread. It's a late snack, love. Crumbs on the counter shine. You're stealing bites from my plate like it's some kind of sign. It's a late snack, love. Laughing at the mess we made. Midnight feels sweeter when we don't act afraid. Maybe our hearts speak when our mouths stay shy. In the steam of a kettle or a shared apple pie. Maybe the truth hides in leftover crumbs, in empty plates, in sleepy hums. So if you come back tomorrow at 2:15, I'll pretend I didn't wait, but maybe I do. It's a late snack, love, simple, soft and true. Midnight tastes different when shared with you.